Hi, I'm Julia Henze, urban sketcher and art teacher at Brave Brushes Studio. It is my mission to help amateur artists like you take their skills to the next level and to help urban sketchers develop regular sketching practice at home. I believe in the power of exercises and drills, of working consistently on different skills and techniques at home, at your desk, so that when you find yourself sketching on location, you can easily create a beautiful sketch. Brave Brushes Studio does exactly that. It provides artists with a lot of practice and guidance. Today, I want to share a short clip from a recent live workshop that I did for the members of Brave Brushes Studio. It is an exercise that helps you master the skill of using pencil to add textures to your greenery. So go get a piece of draft paper and a graphite pencil. But before you do that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so. Okay, ready? Let's go. There were some questions about colored pencils because, I don't know, colored pencils are actually really easy to use. You don't need a lot of complicated techniques or anything like that. You just use them in the way you like. But I think there is a rule which is maybe difficult to get for beginning artists because you want to draw very sketchy and you want to try to make it all very, I don't know, not too straight, not too, you want to make it loose. And because of this idea of making your sketch very sketchy, you try to sketch or to draw all the way in different directions. And the idea of hatching, this is what we do actually with colored pencils, is that you try to use the pencil in the same direction. So let's try to do some exercises with a graphite pencil and just see how you can use your colored pencils in the best way. So when you know this technique, you can use it for all the colored pencils you want, all the colors. So the first thing we will try or we will do is just draw some strokes like this, just parallel to each other, nothing special. And you can start very slowly and try to make it, try to go faster and faster. So these are straight lines. Then we can try to, we need to relax our wrist. This is very important. It's the same with painting. Relax your wrist and just try to follow the movement of your hand, like this. Nothing special. Just try to make the lines parallel to each other. And the next one, same, but in the different direction. So, and this is a little bit unusual because it's not how you use your wrist. It's more in the in another direction. And you can also try to press a little bit harder with your pencil. So if you start like this, you can try to press harder, and then you will see that your lines will be darker. And as you can see, when you start here and your hand is on the same place, but here let me show you again. If you start here and you make them all parallel to each other, and you rotate your wrist a little bit, but it's on the same place, then you will notice that the lines won't be parallel anymore. They come in one point. So, and this is what we can use, for example, for these kinds of parts, the shadows, when we have something round, we start here and we do it like this. So they all will come to pretty much the same point. And this way we will get a darker color here. If we use a darker color pencil, okay? So these are actually the main strokes we can use for pencils. We also can do something different. I like to do it very much, and it's more like also hatching, but you use the softness of your pencil too. So the strokes are very, very close to each other. And you press a bit harder at the beginning and then less and less hard. And this way you create an area like this. This is a little bit less sketch, but you can use it for shadowing, for example. A very, very nice technique. Okay. Let me see. We also can use for this part, for example, or let's start with this choice. Actually, the same idea as here, but we start with one point here and we do something like this. And we can do it in two ways. We can just use the an endless line, so we don't stop with drawing, or we can do it like this. So every single line will come to one point. And if this is the lighter side, then there will be less amount of lines, and on this side we will press harder and the amount of the lines will be, strokes will be higher. Okay, and for this part, we like this. So actually exactly the same thing as everywhere. Parallel lines, but maybe start smaller or maybe not. Depends on what you want to draw, and just draw the lines all in the same direction. And of course, when you start, or when you start to understand how colored pencils work, in general, when you will master drawing, it will be easier for you to go in different directions. It will be just like so natural. And for now, I would suggest just drawing everything in the same direction. It looks so much better than when you draw something like this. I don't know. This is not right. And try to keep them closer to each other on the shadow side and farther from each other on the lighter side. That's all you need to know about lines. So here, for example, I used a darker pencil and this technique. It's a very dark color with a lot of pressure. And this is how we can create shadows. Well, what do you think? Do this exercise a few times over a few days and you won't recognize your trees. They will be so good. Here's a reference photo and a sketch that I created. Notice the textures that I created using this technique. And here are some sketches done by the artist in Brave Brushes Studio. Aren't they amazing? Look at the textures, the shadows and the beautiful colors of greenery. This live workshop was part of my greenery course in Brave Brushes Studio. It consists of 4 different lessons. Here's what it looks inside. The basics of beautiful greenery. Shapes, textures, shadows and mixing green colors. Thumbnail sketching and adding textures. A sketch of a tree with watercolors and colored pencils. Drawing greenery with markers. A total of nearly 5 hours of videos. If you dedicate 5 hours to practicing greenery, your sketches will become vibrant and engaging. Join Brave Brushes now to get immediate access to this course and so much more. My entire collection of classes and workshops, a supportive community of fellow artists, and regular live events. Not convinced yet? Then I'll see you next Monday with my next video.